T7 thoracics and the rib pair that's associated with them. Doing this, I bisected the inferior aspect of the scapula, going straight across to find T7, moving up one intraspinous space, assessing flexion, extension, flexion for opening, extension for closing. Then from there, I needed to check for rotation and lateral bending. Here I placed my superior hand, my thumb against the spinous process T6, T7, and rotating him to the left, then keeping him in pretension, pushing lateral to medial, feeling for in play. I also did that for lateral bending, same thing. Then I went to the other side and did the same thing, throughout rotation and lateral bending, pretension, lateral to medial. From there, I then found, to just further check myself, I bisected the inferior aspect of the scapulas again, going straight across, finding T7, moving up 2 interspinous spaces, going from there, going lateral 2 inches out. Here I will contact the inferior aspect of the rib for elevation, bring him to elevation, and then keeping him in pretension to check, pressing inferior to superior, checking on that joint play infill, and that was fine. Then for depression, I slid my thumb up and then slightly superior, then down inferior to contact the superior aspect of the rib, pushing superior to inferior here, checking for in play, bringing him back into depression, and that was all found fine. And then for the atlas, I already described how I had to bring his feet as close together as possible without touching, closing his eyes, flexing and extending, and then stopping his head whenever he felt comfortable and normal. From there, he had a inferior atlas. He went down a little bit. And then checking for the translation and rotation for the atlas, I contacted the mastoids, going just inferior to the inferior aspect of them and slightly anterior, locking onto the TBPs of the atlas, doing a left to right and right to left gliding, and he was all fine there. Then I brought him to pretension for those and did not find anything. Everything seemed fine. So then for rotation, I found the mastoids going posterior into the little grooves of the back of the neck, contacting the posterior aspect of the TBPs. There I rotated the head left and right. To the left then, for pretension, I took my right contact point and pressed PDA to check for the infill, and as I moved his head to the right, my left contact point, pushing PDA, and did not find anything. So overall, what my findings were a counter rotation nutation of the sacrum and a right ilium posterior glide restriction.